Hello and welcome back. This is DMAC, and today I'm going to look at picking this lovely Ruko 2, not Ruko 2, it's a Ruko Euro cylinder. Got this recently, got the key for it there, and I've got to be careful because I have taken these clips out, so if I pull this plug, all the pins will come out, so I just need to be pretty careful on that. That was in anticipation of being able to pick and gut it. It's much easier to get these clips off before the video, I've found, because these are really quite thick and it probably took longer to get these off than it will take to pick and gut this. And that brings me on to the reason I wanted to feature this. There's two reasons really. The first is I've got this recently and it was horrendously easy to pick. I was really surprised. I've got quite a lot of Rukos and Asas. I do really like them. Generally you've got really good tolerances, really good pins, and pretty good bitting. I think that's okay. It's a little bit linear, but you've still got lows and highs. But this was horrendously easy to pick, and I thought it'd be good to pick it on camera, and then we can gut it. So then, as you see, I've taken those clips off, and that will make the gutting process hopefully a little bit easier, but I just do need to be careful not to pop that out, have a gutting disaster. The other reason to do the video was to congratulate Mr. Pickin Rick, who recently went over the 100 subscribers for his YouTube channel, so congratulations for that, Rick. And I thought I'd do this as an entry for his 100 subscribers giveaway, in which we pick a lock and just talk about our greatest success in lock picking. I'll quickly mention mine. I'm not sure, it's difficult to say because I think the lock sport as a hobby is a series of small victories. You know, we work on a lock for a while, and you know, each one is an achievement, each one is it feels like a victory. So it's difficult to say what your greatest achievement is. You know, since I've been doing it, I've built tools and picks, and you know, challenged myself for ever greater locks, and you know, carry on going in the journey. But that said, I think the one that the lock that gave me the most joy when I finally opened it was this fella here, which is an Ingersoll impregnable. I think they're impregnables, but yeah, they're not impregnable. But I've had this. I was lucky enough to get this. These are very expensive locks. I got this cheap with no shackle. I managed to find a shackle later on, probably about a year or so later. Very stiff, doesn't actually. It does come out. There you go. When it's unlocked. But anyway, it took me a long time to learn how to pick this, and I've only just recently managed to get an open on this. Locked him up. Yeah, just very, very recently managed to get an open on it. I've not managed to get it on video. Hopefully it will be upcoming to prove to myself that it wasn't a fluke that I got it open. But yeah, these are lever locks, fantastic mechanisms. Really did. I got this when I quite early on in my picking journey, and it really did feel like a big boy lock, and felt like I'd never achieve it. So when I eventually picked it, which was only a couple of weeks ago at the time of recording this video, I was overjoyed. I think I may have whooped and fist bumped the air and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that was definitely felt like one of my greatest achievements anyway in my lock picking journey so far. Anyway, that's enough of that. I'll pop this one up there, and we'll get the vise down and carefully try and get this one picked. Now these Euros sit quite well in this pan of ice. If you raise up these rubbers, it gives you a little gap under there, and they just slide in there nicely. And again, being careful not to lose this plug. There we go. Yeah, you can see the actuator spins freely without hitting the jaws of the vise. Really got to hold that plug in, because if I just pulled that key out, we'd get an explosion of pins. Right, so I'm going to zoom you in, and let's. I think I'd normally use a teardrop, Lock teardrops on this, which is this profile here. And I'm going to treat myself today with this pick. This is one of Matt's. I got this from Matt's Lockpit. I'll leave a link to his channel down there. Makes some excellent custom picks, and this one's an absolute beauty. So we'll use that to pick this today. And let's get attention. That one there. That's the biggest one I've got. There we go. That fits in there quite well. So let's see what we've got. Yeah, I found this to pick really easy. It almost picks like a master lock, in that with master locks you kind of crank up the tension, and you're only getting a click out of each pin once. Once you've been picking for a little while, that, you know, a lot of master locks do pick like that. You just crank up the tension and one click out of each pin and it tends to open. And this Ruko was kind of the same. So click on 3, 4 and 5 and we dropped into a little full set there. So click on 1, little click on 2, and I think that was 3, 4, and there we go, click on 1 and we got it open. So we did have to hit those a couple of times more than the once, but it was still opens up really rather quickly compared to the normal sort of Ruko and ASA standard. I've just realised I've locked this up and I need to unlock it to use the front follower and the shoe to kind of get this core out. So actually, while I'm here, let's see if the other side's as easy to pick. And when we've just got to remember not to lock this one up. So, okay, nothing on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Got us a small click, and again we got a small full set there. Small click on 1, small click on 2, small click on 3, small click on 4, and that one came open as well. Very carefully. Let's remove the tools there. We'll turn him all the way around to that position and that should help us gut him. So let's have a look, see what's inside and see, I don't know, try and figure out why this one was so easy to open up. We got that deep full set, so you've got security pins in there for sure. So let's get the pin and shoe in there, which is easier said than done sometimes. Why is that not going in? I think those pins have popped out into the bottom of the keyway a little bit too far. Oh, well, there we go, just pushing them in. There we go, we're in. So we should now be able to pull that plug out carefully. There we go. Oh, we've got to be careful there not to spill anything out. We do have some bits and bobs in the top there. I think these are just brass. That's a brass spacer there. Hopefully we can get that in. They're always easier to take these apart than it is to put them back together, I find. Oh, we can have a gutting disaster here. Something's stuck. Not sure what it is. There we go, we're in. So let's see what we got up top. Again, easier said than done. I think I can see that these are gins in here. Use the back of a pick to squash them back down. They're kind of caught in the channel. Yeah, caught in that channel there, and that's preventing this from turning. I think actually I'm just going to go old school on this and pop all of these out. Yeah, he's definitely stuck in there. So 5 pins. Yeah, and we got gins in there, so we can figure out what order they go in, hopefully. By looking here. So we got a tall one, a tall one, a tall one, and a couple of medium ones there. So they're generally like balanced stacks, so the taller ones will go in the back and those 2 shorter ones will go in the front. So let's pop them there. Okay, and we can see what's inside here now. Making a little bit of a mess as we go. So he's quite heavily master wafered there. If we can tidy these up, you can see. So we got, let's have a look there. So we got, yeah, master wafer in 1, 2 and 4. and everything else is pretty standard. So we've got the gym pins at the top, which are usually pretty fearsome pins to pick, and they interact with countermilling in those holes in the plug there, the chambers, but we've got no countermilling in there, so the lips on those gins really didn't come into play. But I've got a few other Rukos that have the same. They don't have the countermilling, but they have gins or barrels, and they can still be pretty tricky to pick. But for whatever reason, this one is just super easy. I don't know if it's that keyway being wide open. That might help us get access up to there, but I don't know. Perhaps it's sloppy tolerances in the holes. You know, they're kind of those pins perhaps aren't as tight as they could be in there. They feel pretty good. I don't know. I mean, as you're probably aware, if you pick a lot of locks, you know, sometimes you get locks that on paper should be really easy, but are in fact quite difficult. I picked one of those recently on the channel, actually. It was like a cheap rim cylinder. Absolute pain in the arse, took me ages to pick. And when I gutted it, I couldn't find any rhyme or reason for why it would cause me so much difficulty. And this one seems the opposite. So on paper it should be a tougher pick than it is, but for whatever reason it's really easy to pick. So anyway, fun to pick, and I guess we didn't really get to the bottom of why it was easier, but it was just perhaps one of those things. Anyway, congratulations again to Pickin Rick on reaching 100 subs. I'll leave a link to his channel below there. Hopefully you can go over and, you know, give him a subscribe and help him further along on his way to the 500 giveaway. Maybe that'll be next, I don't know. But either way, congratulations, buddy. Some really good content on there, and yeah, hopefully I'll look forward to the giveaway. Keep my fingers crossed. Maybe I'll get some of those 1100s that you hold so dear. But anyway, thanks for watching, and stay safe, and bye for now.